let me explain why I think what you said was really important. Because the counter argument back is that we deny human suffering.
Yes, that's always you get. Oh, if you don't call it an illness or a condition, then you don't validate it.
Yeah,
which is bullshit.
Yeah, we don't deny the existence of
it's very
what
real.
we label mania.
It's extremely real.
Or psychosis,
yes.
right? I think I just did a pretty good job of speaking to how the mind is vulnerable to delusions. But what we're arguing against is the manner in which we categorize it.
Yes.
And then the manner in which we treat it creates an epidemic. It's not healing. It's going to make it worse fundamentally by its nature. And when we look cross-culturally, and you're not American, but let me tell you a little bit about American brainwashing.
Please.
Right?
Please do.
This is from the moment we've entered into school, right? The United States is the beacon of freedom. We saved the world from tyranny. Go back to World War II. We rescued Europe, which, of course, there's truth. A lot of brave Americans were able to do that. That we live in an absolute free society, right? And we're the beacon of scientific, technological
This is what
supremacy.
people are told. That's your point. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. American exceptionalism. So by nature, an American is conditioned to look down upon you, Anders. You're not American, right? Your ancestors wouldn't leave tyranny to immigrate to this land of the free and to create a country that is self-governed. Now, you entered into democratic socialism and you give a lot of your money over to the Danish government. You surrender that and you want to be controlled, right? Like, govern me harder, please. Tell me what to think. Tell me what to do. And there's some truth to some personality differences, but what people fail to recognize is that the United States has evolved into one of the most propagandized countries in the history of the world, as evidenced by our declining culture, as evidenced by our declining medical system, the health of our country. The public school systems are in shambles. Our once like beautiful cities are really being destroyed from within. And we have a leadership that has long since been captured by really intelligence forces and intelligence agencies that are involved in a number of psychological operations, not just around people around the world for control, but the American people themselves. So when they're not aware to it, they're not awakened to it, they believe that they are free. They don't know how these mind control strategies are used on them in American television, in the media, newspapers, mainstream media, powerful social media, messages. We're constantly bombarded with information. Remember, it starts with fear provocation. Then it's allowing the messages to seep into the subconscious. And then what happens is that everybody sounds the same. They start repeating the same things over and over again, right? And they don't realize those aren't their own thoughts. They don't realize that they have not guarded their minds. So they're no longer sovereign, but they think they're sovereign.
That's a bad combination.
It's the worst of combinations. I think part of my responsibility and using the mental health Psyop as a great prime example of how we've surrendered to it and how we're controlled is to be able to discuss things to first our listeners. And I ask always, anyone who listens to this podcast, send it to 3 people. I was talking to Ralph today. Like, I have a growing platform. Like, if you go to my Substack, it's routinely a bestseller on Substack. I have this growing social media platform, and people who listen to this on Spotify or Apple, just download this and listen to it. That's a growing number of people too. It's in the top 0.5% globally, right? And then go to my YouTube. We start providing the videos of this, and you get like 400 or 500 people listen.
Yeah.
Like, that's impossible. it's actively suppressed. So everything in my channel is suppressed, and some of them aren't even allowed to be viewed. Right. So it's a.
And they tell you this. YouTube tells you this. It gives you the message saying,
yeah,
this has been.
Yeah, I'm completely suppressed. I'm completely limited. Everything that I'm doing, which makes me really, really dangerous because I'm over the target with a lot of the things I'm saying. So I would just like to do an example. Anybody who listens to this today, just go on and click. You don't even have to watch the episode. Just like let it play for a little bit, and let's see if these views even get counted. Like that's an active suppression technique, right? And I imagine I'll just eventually get off YouTube and go to freedom sites, but it's like just important to know what is happening on a mass scale. And there is this technocratic elite that wants to control you, control your mind. There's a battle for hearts and minds and souls right now. And the one way they're going to do it is going to be able to get you almost like a cattle walking itself to the slaughter. You are going to, get an experimental injection. Like that was, COVID was that first test. How many people will walk directly into the slaughter? How can we influence them and control their behavior? Do you know what it was in America? 80% of people did that to themselves. And there's going to be a percentage of people out there who still believe they did something for the greater good. They still believe they were provided a vaccine. That's something that stopped transmission of right? So how does this tie into the mental health industry? Well, that's how influenced we are by these messagings.